Here we go. So yeah, I don't make videos very often. I'm not comfortable with it, especially since it looked like crap. Anyway, I had all these ideas about things I wanted to say. And it just kind of flew out of my head. Don't you hate it when people say a lot? And here I am doing it. I have been going through a lot as of late, and I don't know much about making YouTube videos. I've always wanted to, not to get big, have a big channel and make money. Just because I felt like I had stuff to share and I wanted to help other people see that they can do it. They can do that as well, and that we're all weird in some sort of way, you know. So maybe sharing with people just that little thing might help somebody feel better. Also, I thought, in addition to just sharing my thoughts, I could share, or we could discuss scriptures, you know. I feel, although we can't always go on our feelings, can we? Because sometimes our feelings deceive us. So, but in my head, I asked Yahuwah, what should I be doing with my life right now? I'm unemployed. I left a 3-decade nursing career because it did not align with my spiritual, or whatever heck you want to call it, religious beliefs. Um, there goes that again. I felt like I was betraying the people that I was supposed to be taking care of, because modern medicine, the medical industry today is not designed to help you get better. They treat symptoms. They don't cure you. They don't even try to cure you. A patient that gets better is not a good customer. Just that simple. So, if you want a repeat customer, you have to keep bringing them in. They have to keep getting sick. And I started to see that about maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. Excuse me 1 second. Just felt like the light from that window was kind of impairing the video. So, anyway. So now I'm sitting in a sort of dark room. But that's okay. I'm not afraid of the dark. There are very few things I'm afraid of, because I know that with my Father Yahuwah at my side, I don't have to be afraid. He fights my battles for me. There goes that again. So, yeah, I left a 3-decade career as an RN, as a registered nurse. It did not align with my values, my moral values, my spiritual values, my biblical values, my religious values. And I felt compelled to do so for a very long time, probably for about 3 or 4 years at least. Even though I talked to friends at work, other nurses at work, and I told them how I felt, and they said, yes, but these are consenting adults, and they know what they're doing. Yes and no. They do, they're consenting, but they don't, they're not, it's not informed consent, because for most of them, they don't understand what's going on with their bodies. They don't know how to treat it. They go to what they perceive as experts to help them get better. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, and by my beliefs, they're betrayed, because, like I said, only symptoms are treated. They're not cured. So there goes that again. I'm going to try and break that habit. So I left that job. It was kind of slowly over the course of a year. Back in January of 2024, I had a back injury. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it. It wasn't something that was involved with my job as a nurse, although the years of physical beating that your body takes as a nurse over the years, it does wear your spine down. So my back got messed up. I had some bulging discs, and I went to an orthopedic surgeon, and he didn't feel surgery was appropriate, which in the beginning I kind of agreed with it. So I did physical therapy for several months, with pain management and what else was I doing? Exercises at home, and trying to be active. And after, so that was in January of 2024, and by, I want to say, we bought a home in May, and we moved out here to the country in May. And with all physical therapy and stuff that I was doing, by June, I also had a pain management doctor that gave me an injection in my spine, and that seemed to fix it. I went back to work. I want to say it was like in maybe sometime in May. And of course, moving, we lived in an RV for 8 years trying to save money and get established so that we could purchase this home. And it finally happened. The original plan was 3 months, but anyway. So moving out here, I was trying to be gentle on my back, but I did do a lot of things, lifting and stuff, that I'm sure didn't help. But the pain management doctor that put that injection in my spine, it worked. Went back to work, probably in maybe late May. I can't remember now. I don't have my paperwork in front of me. By June, this was pain was all going down from my sciatic, my lower back, my sciatic, my L1 to L5, and I think my S's were involved too. And it would go all the way down my leg and into my foot, and I would get neuropathy and paresthesia. So I had a lot of pain and weird sensations and difficulty walking. All the things that come along with spinal problems. By June, the pain was starting to come back, but this time, I don't know if it was a re-injury or what, went down my right leg. The left leg was no longer really an issue. So I went back to my orthopedic doctor, and he just wanted me to go back to physical therapy, which, living out in the country, trying to travel to work 3 nights a week, because I worked graveyard shifts, and then go to physical therapy in town as well, even though there was therapy places a little closer to me. It was still a 30-minute drive. Financially, I couldn't do it. We couldn't afford that. So I just was trying to be proactive here at home and do what I could, be physically active and do some exercises and stuff. Probably not as much as I should have, but I also, my boss at the time gave me the name of a neurosurgeon in Houston and said that he fixed her right up. So I decided I was going to check with him, and it was that doctor did nothing for me but take my money. And I wasted a whole day driving up there to Houston and back, and got nothing for it. I even paid for my own MRIs. I had two of them, and those aren't cheap. Those are expensive. You're talking $400, $500, $600 a pop. So that happened. And he, after looking at the second MRI, said that it wasn't feasible. It was to do surgery. He didn't feel that it needed to be done, and so at this point I was even more debilitated than the first time. I was having to use the little go-karts in the shopping, in the stores, and I decided the orthopedic doctor said, go back to the pain management clinic, so I did. I had a second injection. This one was extremely painful. The first one wasn't. This one, I could feel the pain when he stuck the needle in my spine, vibrating down my right side and leg. My pain level actually increased, and usually the first time it didn't. It actually took the pain away almost immediately. This time it didn't. It made it worse. The orthopedic surgeon in his office pretty much, when I wasn't getting any better and the pain management shot didn't help, he wanted me to go back, and the pain management wanted me to go back, and I was like, what for? It didn't work. It was extremely uncomfortable. I'm not going to pay again for you to stick a needle in my spine, and it just didn't make sense to me. Maybe that sounds stubborn to you, but being in the medical industry as long as I have, I know my body, and I know positive outcomes and negative outcomes, and not going to torture myself at the behest of these people so that, they can say they did what they could when they actually didn't. And then they abandoned me after a few months, and they stopped allowing me pain medication, which I wasn't abusing. I was using it very discerningly, gingerly, if you will. Just wasn't getting any kind of, woo off of it or anything like that. It helped me as far as making me more functional physically. That's all it did. It didn't take the pain away, but it did help me to be able to move a little more fluidly, and I could do more around my home. So I want to say about October they just stopped prescribing me, and basically they fired me as a patient. And then my disability ran out. I exhausted that. I didn't have long-term disability on my benefits for some reason. I don't know how that happened. It did. And my job had to fire me because they can't keep paying me for not coming to work. Yeah. I wasn't upset with them about it at all. It is what it is. That's corporate America, and they only take care of their own for so long. Most of the time you get thrown under the bus, when you've outlived your usefulness. So, all right, so that's that story. And I'm still going through pain, but I'm a lot more functional now. I do what I can to get through the days, and I can't go back to working in that job. So income right now is pretty much non-existent. My husband has had a few jobs here and there. He just got a new one, and I'm hoping that one works out and that he's able to stay with that one. The other one, it was just too physically taxing on him, and he said one day he almost passed out, and he just quit that job right there. So, yeah. So I went through a year of torture in order to be able to leave that job. I didn't feel like my husband was going to be very pleased with me if I just outright quit it because of my ethical reasons. So I felt like you gave me an out by giving me this back problem, as weird as it sounds. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling, aren't I? I want to just say that I haven't lost hope, and I do have some talents. I used to knit a lot and crochet, and I'm a good baker and cook, and I even was thinking about doing some other crafts and stuff like that, and then I've got gardening that I'm trying to get off the ground, but I've been lazy about that. So I did a seed starter last week, and some of it's already starting up. So, excuse me, I'll be able to transplant that soon. A lot of emotional stuff I'm going through right now, family things, a lot of sadness. I, over the years, have taught myself how to turn emotion off and not feel, for the most part, because it's just too much to deal with. I can't. I just can't. So, trying not to feel. I had some wine the other night, and yeah, I know some Christian denominations say you shouldn't drink wine. I think it's okay. 1 or 2 glasses a couple times a week, or with a meal. The Bible says that they drank wine. Some religions, they say, oh, they were talking about grape juice. I don't think so. In a hot country like that, grape juice didn't stay grape juice for very long. So, yeah. It was probably low alcohol content, though, Anyway, so I had some wine the other night, maybe a little more than I should have. It wasn't easy to measure how much I was drinking because I wasn't using a regular wine glass. It was this little teeny tiny, fancy little brandy glass, and so it only holds about that much, And I got really emotional. I was crying and just bawling and sobbing my eyes out. And I don't know if that was good or bad. I don't know if it helped. But, yeah, the next day, I didn't really feel any different. I didn't feel better. I don't know, maybe I would have felt worse if I hadn't gotten all that crying out of me. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. I'm battling a lot of different struggles. I have a nicotine addiction, and I use these vapes, the Vuse tobacco. I found these ones. This is called Love, Luvv, Lovv, or something like that. And it's vitamins, so I'm trying to break the habit of the nicotine with this other oral fixation. There's that word again. So, I'll try and make another video tomorrow. Even if nobody watches this, it's good to talk. It gets it off my chest, and I have to get dinner ready for my husband and my son, who should be home from work soon. So that's that. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and if not, just a decent day, and may Yahuwah bless you. I pray in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Amen.